Yo, what's happening, people? It's your boy Griggs, and welcome back to Griggs Talks, where we talk all things sports. Welcome back to another match reaction. Day later, obviously, but we had to work after the game yesterday. But yeah, Manchester United got a 2-2 draw against Liverpool. Result that very few would have probably predicted. Not myself, because I predicted a loss, but it was a really good performance. We're gonna talk about it. Mostly positive today. Not many negative takeaways from yesterday. A lot to talk about. A lot of good stuff to talk about. Also talk a little bit about January, right? It's January 6th now. Happy New Year to everyone. May 2025 be your best year yet. Which means United might have some transfer business. More than likely we will not have, but we're linked with some people, some outgoing, some ingoings as well. So we're gonna talk about that. But first and foremost, make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're in here. And most importantly, we're gonna talk about the game yesterday. As Manchester United got a 2-2 draw at Anfield. 2 years in a row, we actually haven't lost at Anfield, which is crazy to think about. And most importantly from yesterday, we managed to score a goal at Anfield for the first time since 2018. We are in 2025. We scored, I think, in December, so we'll say 6.5 years of not scoring a goal at that stupid ground, and we finally broke that streak. And funny enough, it was probably by the person you at least predict to score a goal at Anfield, which is Lisandro Martinez. A big up LFC Aaron. But yeah, before we go talk about the goal, in terms of the performance, the lineup was pretty much expected. Nothing shocking from the lineup, right? But even though it was the lineup I expected, the lineup didn't play the way I expected. First of all, in terms of defensive shape, we were much more solid yesterday than we have been probably since maybe Arsenal. And even in that game, due to the personnel we had in that Arsenal game was much different than the personnel we had in this game. But I was still happy to see that. I was still happy to see this personnel the way they played yesterday. We defended a little bit more compact in the midfield. We packed the midfield more. We didn't allow as much space centrally as we have in previous times. Obviously, Liverpool were still able to play through our press at times because we're not the greatest. We still don't have the greatest in midfield. We don't have the greatest of athletes, and Liverpool are a much better physical team than us, especially the likes of McAllister. But Liverpool still found it tough. And more importantly, also is we also were able to be on the ball. Liverpool didn't press us as much. Maybe I don't know why. If they were like afraid of any counters there, which I don't think we really even have, but they were kind of comfortable letting us get our own game off. Maybe because they didn't think that United could actually break through that Liverpool mid block. But United were able to get on the ball and pass around. Obviously, once we got past midfield, we didn't know what to do, which is what Liverpool's game plan was. But as the game went on, United got more confident once they got past midfield, and then they were finally able to find the gaps. They were able to find the passes and stuff like that. And I'll talk about the one weakness that Liverpool had that we exploited, but Trent Alexander-Arnold. But most importantly, I'm just proud of United's performance. Like this is what Philip says. At the end of the day, this is still a one-off performance, and we beat City 2 weeks ago, and then we lost to I think we lost to Forest the week after. So it's something that United have to show me that they could do consistently, right? Because it's easy getting up for a game against Liverpool. They're our biggest rivals. The players know what this game means, right? And next game we have FA Cup against Arsenal. But what about the games after that? Southampton at home. Are you gonna put foot to ass against that team that's meant to be worse than us? Fulham away after that. Are you gonna put a performance against that? A very solid Fulham team that's a mid block that's gonna make life hell for you. How are you gonna perform in those kind of atmosphere? Those are the games I want to see United, because we beat City, but then we lost to Bournemouth, we lost to Forest, and we also lost to Newcastle. That Lisandro Martinez goal was our first goal since the City game, not counting the Spurs Carabao Cup game. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? It's easy getting up for each kind of game. So United had to show me that level of consistency. And obviously, in terms of the squad, I was still 99% of the squad, but they performed yesterday, and you got to give them credit for that. And there's some players that we'll talk about that might have maybe a little bit of more of a future at United that I did not think of maybe 3 months ago, or even 2 weeks ago. But it was a really good performance. And the first guy I have to talk about most importantly is a guy that I slandered like crazy, I think, after the Wolves game where he got the red card. And that's Bruno Fernandes. Yesterday shows how important it is for your captain to be a leader, and how a captain sets a standard and the tone of a football team. Bruno Fernandes was the best player on that pitch yesterday. A pitch that included Mohamed Salah, a pitch that included Virgil van Dijk, a pitch that included Alexis McAllister. A pitch that included Amad Diallo, a pitch that included Kobe Mainu. Bruno Fernandes was the best player on that pitch yesterday. Especially in that second half. In that second half, he did stuff that I haven't seen Bruno do since the FA Cup final last year against Manchester City. And it's probably easy to say why like United won, or not won, they didn't win yesterday, but they had such good performances in those games, right? It's because their captain set the standard. A team for me is as good as their captain, not as good as their captain, but as good as a captain's leadership and the way that they set the tone. Jordan Henderson was not the best player on Liverpool, right? But the leadership, the way that he kept players motivated, that he set an example that players should be following. And I think Bruno yesterday set that example, and the players, based off his confidence, were also able to build their confidence. He was so confident yesterday that other players were able to build up their confidence. But other games where Bruno's a hothead and he gets emotional and he starts crashing out and stuff like that, you see players drop their heads and they start crashing out. They get emotional. It's that important. Well, bro, you're trying to ruin my day, man. It's Monday morning, bro. Anyway, that one's ruined my day. Well, I can't escape him. He goes from one club to the other club, bro. I can't, bro. Olympiacos' desperation for Brazilians, man. They can't get over the chokehold. Rivaldo introduced him to a vibe, man. But back to the game. Bruno, yesterday, that was a captain's performance, and I have to give him 100% credit. Is that the Bruno I'm going to see next week? Probably not. He's probably going to go back to type, but it's so frustrating that you can get that kind of performance out of Bruno, and he is a good player. I think he's not shit. I don't think Bruno is shit. Like, he plays like shit at times. I don't think he's shit. Like, I don't think he could be a shit footballer and put the stats that he puts up and have some of the performances that he has, but it's just inconsistent. And it makes sense why what Bruno's captaincy at Man United highlights what United have been for the past 2 years. Just very inconsistent. And that's Bruno Fernandes. When Bruno Fernandes is at his best, United are at their best. But what his best is not obviously title contention, what United want to aspire to be. And I think yesterday he was very good. Hopefully we get that for maybe a month or so in performances, but I just have to give him a lot of credit yesterday because that second half was absolutely impeccable. It's one of the best halves I've seen a player play at United in a very long time. Everything he was trying to do was getting off, including dribbling. That's the one thing that Bruno has never been able to do, even when he was better at United, let's say a couple years ago, 10 hours per season. He's never been able to dribble. But yesterday he was dribbling. He was carrying the ball very well. Liverpool players couldn't get the ball off him. If they were fouling him. So it was an amazing performance, and you got to hold your hand up for that game. But at the end of the day, it's still probably not good enough from Bruno, and he's gonna have to do a lot to win me back from what he's done for the past 4 or 5 months of the season. Because other than that Community Shield performance that he had against City, where he was really good, but that's a preseason game, basically. This was probably his first really good performance of the season. So, yeah. Who else? Another player in midfield I actually have to apologize. I'm not going to apologize to Bruno, but I have to apologize to this guy, is Manuel Ugarte. This guy is first team All-Pro dog. He's never going to be my full cup of tea as a midfielder, right? That's just not my kind of midfielder. I love dogs, but for example, Ander Herrera, right? I always say United fans gas over Ander Herrera like crazy because they're all about the off the ball, stuff like that. On the ball, I think Ander Herrera was mediocre. I mean, he's better than Ugarte, but never really crazy. Like I like more of the Pogbas. I like more of the Matiches. Obviously, Michael Carrick. All those kind of midfielders. I always like more. But I always have love for a dog. And Ugarte right now is a dog. And the guy just wins the ball back at an amazing rate. On the ball yesterday, he was actually showing something. He was swiveling. He was getting Liverpool players couldn't really get the ball off him. Passing wise, other than that pass that he played in the 9 minutes, which we'll talk about that situation in a little bit. Ugarte is not the best of passers. But that's okay because everything else that he does is incredible. And man, Amram gets the best out of him, and that's what coaching is about, right? Magnifying your player's strengths and minimizing their weaknesses. Ten Hag couldn't get anything out of Ugarte. Amram, who obviously knows the player, was able to get something out of him and maximizing his potential and maximizing his strengths. And that's what a good coach does. That's why Amram is a good coach. He's a great coach. So yeah, Ugarte, full apologies right now. I'm not gonna say I'm a part of the Ugarte fan club, but I was ready to ship him out a day into his transfer. I called the transfer a flop, but obviously sensational performance yesterday. If it wasn't for Bruno, maybe Ugarte would have been man of the match. But I thought he was incredible. Going back to the defense before I finish the midfield with Kobe. Central center back. Harold Maguire. And Desmond Phillips asked the question, would you keep Harry Maguire? I personally would actually think about keeping Harry Maguire, but not on the 190K a week wages. I would try to restructure the contract. I think 190K with how broke United are right now, that level of money right now cannot go to Harry Maguire, unfortunately. But again, yesterday, another big game performance by Harry Maguire, central center back. When I went on Saeed and I said Harry Maguire is our best central center back, I got booed all about this Ligt talk, which I'll talk about the Ligt in a little bit. But Harry Maguire is Manchester United's best center back in terms of being centrally. He's the best leader United have at center back, and he's the most comfortable playing in the back three out of all the center backs at United. And you keep seeing that, and especially you're seeing it in the big games where Maguire has to be more vocal and stuff like that. The defending and all that kind of stuff. You saw Maguire, the way that he stepped up. There were a couple tackles that he put back to back in the first half that were crunching tackles. Bam, bam. Amazing. That yellow card that he got was also a sham by Michael Oliver. That was an absolute clean tackle. I don't know where he got the yellow from, but anyway, I'm not gonna talk about refereeing because it was abysmal yesterday, but whatever. Harry Maguire, leader of men, and this is why I said obviously Harry Maguire's never gonna get the armband back at United. But in my opinion, I think if the past didn't exist, right? If I didn't have any knowledge about like the past and stuff like that, and I just looked at currently who I would give the captaincy to, it would honestly be Harry Maguire. I think he's United's best leader. But it was an amazing performance yesterday. Obviously, the miss, which I did see Stafford's reaction, he went viral. It was a bad pass by Xerxes, but Harry Maguire probably you should still be kind of getting that on target, but the ball did bobble and bounce a lot. But it was really good performance by Harry Maguire, and he was really crucial. I don't think Liverpool, he didn't really make any mistakes on the ball. The one thing I noticed yesterday from him on the ball, he wasn't taking as many touches. He got it, released it. He was switching the ball a lot more, which I love to see. So yeah, I think for me, I know what United's best center back trio is. It's from the one I said from the beginning. It's Euro, Maguire, and Ligt. That is United's best center back three. That, in my opinion, that is United's best center back three. Especially when we're going to play low blocks with the progressive passing that all three have. I think those three are the ones. No disrespect to the Ligt, but we'll talk about the Ligt now. He had a decent game. He wasn't terrible, but it's just the rashness in his defending, and he's not quick to make up for it. Like Lenny Yoro, if he'll make a mistake, I know he'll recover because he's got pace and he's also got the long legs. Pause. The Ligt, that's two times in the same week. He's got skinned where he went sliding and the player just dashed him back to Amsterdam. First, he was Isak. I don't think that led to a goal. But this one led to the goal with Cody Gakpo. Everyone knows Cody Gakpo got no left foot. So he's obviously going to cut in. He chopped you and he smashed it. It was a great finish by Cody Gakpo. All respect to him. But that's amateur defending. The penalty, yeah, I got mad at him initially because, like, why are you putting your hand up? But it was weird. Is that a pen? Is that not a pen? Whatever. But again, he was the culprit of the crime. He constantly finds himself as the culprit of the crime. It reminds me of when Maguire a couple of years ago, no matter what he did, he would always find himself as the culprit of the crime. And that is the Ligt. That is the kind of center back he is. And in my opinion, I don't want that because even if that he has all that rashness in defending, he doesn't have the on-the-ball ability to make up for it like Lenny Yoro does. I'll talk about Lenny Yoro in a little bit. So for me, the Ligt, just not it. And it also pisses me off about the transfer now when I really think about it. What United spent about 45 mil on the Ligt with how deep the center back market is. Where that money could have gone, it's crazy to think about because let's say, for example, Bournemouth, the guy they signed from Juventus, Huijsen, he went for 15 mil. He's on a streak of like 8 man in the matches in a row for Bournemouth. He is clearly a top center back in the making. He was available for 15 mil. United ended up spending triple that on De Ligt because of the name of Matthijs De Ligt. And is Matthijs De Ligt a shit center back? He's not a shit center back. But at the end of the day, there is a constant theme of him at the big clubs. He keeps floundering. Yeah, he still finds himself at other big clubs, but it keeps flopping. He's never been able to stabilize himself at a big club. And that for me is a red flag. So I think United could have spent money better in that position. But thankfully, we also did kind of spend money better at that position because we also have Lenny Yoro. And Lenny Yoro only played about 20 minutes yesterday. But in those 20 minutes, he was special. First of all, that tackle is one of the best tackles I've seen made from a United center back in a long time. The recovery on that is absolutely insane. And the way that he also covered, it shows me what long term, that central center back role will eventually be his. United will probably go get better progressive wide center backs, and Lenier will be the central center back. He's got the height for it. He's got the passing for it. And as the experience increases, the IQ, defensive IQ of reading on the game will also increase. So that was a special performance from him yesterday. And then that switch, which, by the way, Garnacho was definitely not outside for that. As sometimes Garnacho can have lack of IQ, and sometimes he'll make stupid decisions. But I refuse to believe that he would be outside on that. I truly refuse to believe that Garnacho would be outside on that. That switch was absolutely impeccable. What could have happened? We'll never know, because the ref wanted to raise his flag and not even let the play out and then look if it was outside. But refs at Anfield, never goes your way. But yeah, man, Lenier was absolutely impeccable yesterday. Lisandro Martinez avenged his horrors of Anfield after what Salah did to him 2 years ago. He didn't play there last year because he was injured. He avenged his horrors. He avenged them. Amazing performance yesterday. Obviously the goal. That's the best finish you'll see from a United player all season. You roofed it against Alisson. That's so wow. Just never expect that from Lisandro Martinez. That's the second goal ever for United. Another one was like a little diving header against Arsenal at the Emirates. It was a good performance from him, but I don't really care. The goal obviously was special like that. But defensively, the way he stepped up against Mohamed Salah, the way he didn't let him breathe, the way he was able, like I said, to avenge his horrors and just step up on the ball really good as well. That's what United should be playing like every week. And the reason why United looked so good yesterday is because the back three, for the most part, was in unison. They stepped up when they needed to step up. And that's getting to the system, which we'll talk about Amram in a little bit as well. It's just getting used to the system and stuff like that. You always have to be constantly aggressive. Amram's system requires aggression. And United players need to be constantly aggressive. You can't be aggressive for 10 minutes of the game. You can't be aggressive for even 70 minutes of the game. You got to be aggressive for 90 minutes of the game. And yesterday, for the most part, United, let's say 80 minutes, 82 minutes, were aggressive. And the center backs were the leaders of that. So it's a good performance from them. Onana, the pen, should be saving that. But other than that, it was a calm game, especially distribution-wise. But that's Onana, man. And we also can see the set piece. That's progress. Back to the midfield, because there's one more midfielder we could talk about. Kobbie Mainoo. That was definitely Kobbie Mainoo's best performance in United jersey under Ruben Amorim. It's not even his best performance. There were some people saying he's like his best performance in a United jersey. I'm like, you're capping. He's had two better performances against Liverpool last year, one at Anfield. But I thought for me yesterday, he was definitely the best performance under Amorim. He looks like he's getting a little bit more used to the system. Amorim has him getting more of the ball now. Also has players constantly around him to link up. Dueling wise, was really good in his duels yesterday. As compared to maybe the first game against Liverpool this year, where Gravenberch got the best of him a lot more. He shut down Curtis Jones as well. So yeah, it was a really good performance by Kobbie. I'm interested to see how he constantly keeps improving in this midfield too, because I still think that a midfield two doesn't get the best out of him. I do think in a midfield three, you'll see the best of Kobbie Mainoo, but he's also a special talent, and I trust that he will figure out how to play in the midfield too. Maybe we won't get the full signal of Kobbie Mainoo, but we'll still get a really good player. Obviously, yesterday also there were rumors that Kobbie Mainoo is not unsellable in a way that if an offer came in, maybe you're not to listen to it. I'll say that if United do end up sending Kobbie Mainoo, I would get really tight. I'm not gonna lie. I'd crash out. I already crashed out yesterday in the group chat. It's when we talk about the United way and stuff like that, once every 3 to 4 years, right? There's always a special talent that comes out of Carrington. And if we sell those special talents for pure profit, then you just might as well just get rid of the Manchester United name, because that's not what Manchester United are. The best of the best from Carrington always play for United and end up becoming United legends, but they stay here for a pretty long time. So the even mere thought of selling Kobbie Mainoo for pure profit, not because he wants to leave, for me would be very, very bad look on United, on Ineos specifically. But hopefully it never comes to that. But you never know. We're that broke that never say never. But yeah, other than that, he was really special yesterday. The wingbacks, Dalot, Mazraoui. Starting with Dalot specifically, because Dalot was really good yesterday. He absolutely cooked Trent. Trent made him look like peak CR7 down that left-hand side. He was confident. Dalot was kicking the ball past him and running right past him. He was really good yesterday. That cross for Ahmad, I think it was a mistake on both their parts. I think Ahmad overran it, but Dallo maybe could have hit a little behind. Also, maybe could have put on the floor. But other than that, Dallo was really good yesterday. Still, obviously, left wing back for me is a crucial priority. Because you saw how much freedom Dallo got that down that side yesterday, and how much chances he got in the final third. Imagine someone with better final third output, right? So he was still really good yesterday. Mazraoui was also good yesterday. Didn't get forward as much maybe as Dallo. Had that nice little cheeky nutmeg on Diaz, but it was a solid performance from yesterday. Obviously, he's been poor maybe the last 2 weeks or so, but much more comfortable performance from Mazraoui. Much more deserving of the Mazu nickname that me and Staffy gave him. But yeah, it was a calm performance from him. And the front three, well, front two, because I already talked about Bruno. Ahmad, I'm not gonna lie, Ahmad had a stinker until he scored the goal. But you know what? That's fine. That's what X Factor's for. You have a stinker. Mohamed Salah had a stinker, then he scored a pen. Ahmad had a stinker, scored the goal, well taken. But other than that, wasn't that his best? But that's fine, man. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But yeah, scored a nice goal. Goal at the Etihad, goal at Anfield this year. We're at 6 goals, 7 assists, I think now. So we're basically close to that double-double that I predicted for him. I think he's at 3 goals, 6 assists in the league. And yeah, man. Just more and more game time. This is, like I said, Ahmad is just constantly getting more and more in game time. The only concern I have with him sometimes is in transition, his passing can be a little bit spooky, but the weight of the pass is sometimes off. But he'll work on that. I'm confident he will. But he was still okay yesterday. It wasn't definitely his best performance. But saying all that, he definitely was not the worst attacker for Manchester United yesterday, because that title belongs to Rasmus Højlund. United need a left wing back. United need a left attacking midfielder. United absolutely need a striker as soon as possible. I would honestly say that might be a bigger requirement than the left 10 right now. United need a striker. United absolutely need a striker as soon as possible. Because anytime Rasmus Højlund gets through one-on-one, I am not confident he's going to finish the chance. And I was proven right yesterday. And regardless of that, even if he doesn't finish his chance, the rest of the game is absolutely diabolical. And I'm sorry. That's why I get more mad at Højlund maybe than Xerxes. Xerxes, I know what to expect from Xerxes. But the fact that Rasmus Højlund is 6'2", 6'3", tall, pace, powerful, all that kind of stuff, was basically built in a lab. His profile is built in a lab. And he doesn't know how to utilize it at all. And it's just constantly playing like Bambi on ice. Bro, I'm sorry. Get out. Just get out. I'm tired of Rasmus Højlund. I'm even tired sometimes of Joshua Xerxes. I just want a striker that I can trust, that they know how to move in the box. They know how to make the right run. Højlund made about 4 wrong runs yesterday. Bruno crashed out on him. Other people crashed out on him. I don't understand what he's doing on that pitch. What striker? I want Victor Osimhen. I always say this about striker. You guys don't know how to talk about striker position. I want reliable, experienced strikers that know how to put the ball in the goddamn net. I want experience. That position, do not buy young unless you already have experience there. If you have experience there, then yeah, you can go buy young. That's calm. You can let that player nurture. But your number one better be experienced, or they better be, if they're young, they're elite, goddamn near elite, like Erling Haaland. We do not have Erling Haaland. We just have a Rasmus Højlund and we have Joshua Xerxes. Both are about 21 to 23 years old. Neither of them are really experienced. Xerxes had maybe a couple more years of top flight football. Neither of them experienced. I wanted Dom Solanke for a reason. He was peaking at the right time. I want Victor Osimhen because I think Victor Osimhen at his best is a top 5 striker in Europe. We need that. I think Victor Osimhen also loves to play for United. He's got the hunger in him, all that kind of stuff. I think he'd be a perfect fit. And you're never going to get a striker Osimhen's level at this kind of a price unless they're a free agent. And it's very rare that a top-level striker becomes a free agent, especially at the age that Osimhen is. So this is a great market opportunity. This is what United have to get. United fans and United as a whole have to get used to this. This 2 words right there: market opportunity. We're broke, which means we can't take crazy risk in the market. So you have to look at opportunities that you think are high risk, low risk, high reward. And I look at Osimhen as a low risk, high reward kind of player. So I think that's the type of player I would definitely bring. There's some of the strikers I see hoop in this league right now. I'm seeing Chris Wood running around like he's Alan Shearer right now. Look what Osimhen's going to do, bro. This guy, him and Kvaratskhelia, goddamn near basically carry Napoli to elite title. The guy is special. Bring Victor Osimhen in. However, Do not bring in Dusan Vlahovic. I saw the rumors today in the morning of a swap between Xerxes and Vlahovic. No, thank you. I do not think Vlahovic bangs in this league. I think he is clearly decreasing in terms of his level is clearly deteriorating. And yeah, I don't. Nah, maybe not Vlahovic. I think he's a good finisher. Is he better than Højlund? Absolutely. But it's still a no for me. I think Victor Osimhen for me is the one. I think that's the one that United need to prioritize somehow getting Victor Osimhen at this price. It has to happen. He'll be having Manchester too. It's calm. Uncle Igalo put in the call, bro. Don't worry, bro. Osimhen said his dream is to play in the Premier League. So, yeah. But yeah, I felt Højlund was abysmal yesterday, and that was. Other than that, the performance is good. And getting on to moving past the players, onto the coach, Ruben Amorim. Fantastic coaching job yesterday. Also show that in a way that this squad is not relegation level. We are better than relegation. Are we like top 4, top 6, top 8? Probably not. Maybe top 10. But this squad can play when it wants to. A little quick adaptation by Amorim, but not leaving his principles, but adapting to, like I said, packing the midfield, stuff like that. That's a good little tweaking. And honestly, that's all I've asked for him in the past like 2-3 weeks where we've struggled. It's just to tweak a little bit. Don't abandon your principles, but also tweak a little bit. Because you have to tweak a little bit. You can't keep playing the same way, just getting hammered 3-0. That's not gonna work. You need to tweak stuff. And obviously he's a top level coach. And he tweaks them a little bit yesterday. Maybe that tweak won't work against Arsenal during the weekend in the FA Cup. Maybe it'll need to be a different tweak against Fulham. But you just got to figure out different tweaks, but not abandoning your system. For example, maybe making one of the 10s more central and making them kind of like a third midfielder and kind of making the other 10 be kind of like a split striker with the other striker. Stuff like this. A little bit tweaks like that, right? Keeping your 3 at the back, the flying wing backs, but maybe change the personnel a little bit. That's something he's gonna have to do, especially in the Premier League. You can't only play one way in the Premier League. You're gonna get found out. There's tape on you. You gotta have to find ways to tweak little stuff, but not abandon your principles. And I'm not saying adjust to the squad fully, because the squad doesn't deserve to get fully adjusted to, right? These guys are still ass. But we also cannot finish 15th or 14th. That is unacceptable. So he's gonna have to find ways to get some results, or maybe we'll see in the Europa League and stuff like that. And it also showed he was heard about the training aspect, where United basically had a full week off. We didn't have any games midweek. We basically had off from Tuesday to Saturday, where he was able to train with the squad, and you saw better results from it. And is the reason why United played better yesterday only because of the training? Absolutely not. Players got up for it mentality. Bruno, Amorim, Ligt all talked about it. It's all in the head. Mental. And that's what I said about the captain said it best. Bruno said it best. If we can perform like that at Anfield, why the hell are we not performing like this against Forest, Bournemouth, Newcastle, at Old Trafford, at home? It's not like United have been getting embarrassed on the road. United have been getting embarrassed at home. So that's what it's all mental. It's all in the head. Football, as much as it is a technical game on the floor, all that kind of stuff, it's also always in the head too. Sports, mental in sports is very important. And that's what United players have struggled for a long time now, is the mentality and constantly keeping it consistent, stuff like that. Getting up for certain game, but then the next game you're overlooking it and stuff like that. It's always mental. And I like that they mentioned that yesterday. I think Amorim had his best presser yesterday as well. He talked about, don't be happy, be mad, be disappointed. We should have won yesterday. We should have gotten the win. I don't care about XG. The XG the Liverpool side play, I don't. Other than the McAllister shot, and obviously Gakpo's screamer, and maybe the last little Van Dijk glance header in the 92nd, 93rd minute, Liverpool did not scare me. Any shot they had did not really scare me. So it's important United just don't. It's all mental. It's all mental. United players yesterday believed they could win. As the game grew on, we didn't park the bus. We didn't sit back in the low block and let Liverpool pop off 35 shots against us. We went for the dagger. We didn't get the dagger, but we went for it. It's that level of mentality that needs to be instilled into the squad. Amorim said yesterday, too many people at United are comfortable. We have to shake it up. I agree with that. Too many people at United are comfortable. You got to shake it up. So it's important he does that. But yeah, like I said yesterday, we saw the Man City game. We won. We fell off again. We got a decent result against Liverpool. We didn't win, but it was still a really good result. Are we gonna fall off now? Win against Arsenal FA Cup, then win against Southampton by a nice little result. And I'm like, okay, then I'm seeing something. But United still have a long, long ways to go in terms of squad overhaul, in terms of changing the mentality. It's all in the head. Bruno having the rest is also very crucial as well. But I also say this about though. Obviously, in terms of the training for Amarim, I agree with him. Also because he obviously hasn't had a preseason with the squad, right? I would have been more tight with the training excuses if it was like for Ten Hag, for example. You've been here for 3 years. Your squad should be comfortable playing your way by now. You don't need training. Because next year, right? Let's say for United, for example, United are in 2 competitions and stuff like that, yada, yada, yada. That training excuse doesn't fly. Because as a big club, you're always going to be multiple competitions. That's the stature of being a big club. You're not going to have 1 game a week. And I know a lot of United fans want to play 1 game a week next year, and I'm not opposed to that right now. But if United want to be at their best, you're going to be playing in multiple competitions. So you got to have to get used to the lack of training. But I understand. I sympathize with him because of no preseason and stuff like that. There's a reason why the guy wanted to come during the summer. Because he knows he needs a little bit more longer time than maybe another coach, like a traditional 4-2-3-1 coach, to have the players understand the system. And also having a whole summer to kind of change their philosophy, change the mentality and stuff like that. That guy has to be a shrink. That guy has to be a coach. He has to be he has to be everything. Thoughts on Liverpool winning the league? It disgusts me, but there's nothing I can do about it. I tried to help Arsenal yesterday by getting a result against Liverpool, but then they wanted to draw to Brighton. So honestly, what can I do? Not my fault. I tried to help the Gunners, but they didn't want to step up. I tried to help Chelsea, but they didn't want to step up. So what else can we do, man? It disgusts me, but at the end of the day, I can't really focus on Liverpool. The fire is burning at home. The house is burning on fire. I had to fix myself before I focused on others. It actually sucks. It sucks to see my enemies prospering while I'm faltering. But like I said, it's always accountability. It's always self-reflection. You got to focus on yourself first before you focus on others. Because if you're not at your strongest, then what does it really matter? So yeah, United have to focus on other stuff. Slough was disingenuous about United playing styles. You know what? I'm used to the Liverpool coaches not liking our style of play and always finding excuses when they don't beat us. Matter of fact is, yesterday Liverpool messed up. They thought United was sweet. United players clearly did not show up to get pretty much put in a spliff and stuff like that. United players showed up to win the match. And we took advantage of Liverpool kind of being complacent. And that's not my fault. That's on them, and that's on their coach for them to be complacent in the game against Man United. They should have known that United were going to be up for a fight. Because I think Coach can mention, every time someone says you try to go band for band with Liverpool, you get smoked. We went band for band, and we were the better team, and we should have won, but we didn't, and that's okay. Whatever. And for Liverpool, this result doesn't really matter either because other teams around them are messing up too. So yeah, it's up to them for being complacent. So that's not my problem. But yeah, other than that, it was a good result yesterday. Like I said, just build on it. Next game we're up against Arsenal in the FA Cup. Obviously, it's not a league game, so I'm not like too crazy for it. And we do have a league game against Southampton, which is an important game, must I say. So yeah, because this puts are only like 5 points behind me now. So yeah, a lot of work to be done there. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that. In terms of January, obviously, I talked a little bit about Osimhen. I talked about Vlahovic. There's rumors that Casemiro might actually realistically leave this month to Al Nassr because Ronaldo really wants him. That would be great for United. Do I think we bring in a midfielder this winter? No. Left wing back, I think we do bring in, whether it's through a loan move or something. And I've talked about this on Twitter. I talked about this on Staffies as well. I talked about it on my channel. I think United should really be looking at loan market, but with like obligation or options to buy. I think there's again market opportunities. That's the word of the day on Greg Talks today, or the phrase of the day. Market opportunities. I look at maybe like a Douglas Luiz, right? Juventus want loan obligation. Look into that. See what's going on over there. Matisse Tell. Bayern, unsettling, very unhappy. Young player, good potential, good raw physical attributes. Go look into that. See what's going on. This one, a lot of people I know that I'm close to, that I talk to a lot of footy with, are really want Kolo Muani. I'm not really for that right now. But is he worse than Rasmus Hojlund at this point? I don't even know. But again, loan. You know what you know the theme. There's a theme going on here, right? You guys sense the theme. Big up JJ, Lieutenant General. There's a theme. I think United needs to be looking at this because United got I'm gonna with Ugarte, United got lucky. They spent 55 mil. It looked like an overpay, but the guy's performing. That's calm. I don't want to be taking those kind of risks every single time. Lenny Euro, market opportunity. Expensive market opportunity, but a market opportunity because you bought him when he's probably going to be the cheapest he'll ever be. Obviously, it would have been probably free, but you don't beat Madrid when it comes to free transfers. So, realistically, that's probably the cheapest Lenny Euro is ever going to be. So, you got him there. Mazraoui, market opportunity. That's that. Mazraoui is the perfect example. Market opportunity. Ligt, not a market opportunity. Absolutely not a market opportunity. That was definitely not a market opportunity. But again, you gotta get the theme I'm going on here. You need to be looking at that. Wouldn't be opposed to Ademola Lookman either. That would be a good replacement. I don't think Rashford's leaving this month. I think the summer will be it because Rashford doesn't want Saudi. So, yeah, well, nothing we can do about that, right? Yeah, obviously it was a long-term target, but we have to get him this summer, otherwise Madrid already got him. So, you gotta do what you gotta do. But again, market opportunities. United needs to be looking at market opportunities. But specifically for January, it has to be left wing back. And if you can, get a striker in. Especially, if the next leagues, you must get a striker in. Because if Rasmus Hojlund is my only striker for the rest of the season, I promise you, we're really looking at relegation. Market opportunity. Actually, that was more a scout. That was more of a panic buy. I'm not going to lie. United are just lucky our scouts early. By the way, speaking of United scouts, y'all seen what that kid at Parma's doing? Suzuki, the goalkeeper? Hooping. Zion is hooping. I'm not talking about Zion Williamson. I'm talking about the goalkeeper. He's hooping. He's been the best goalkeeper in Serie A. Scouts. Trust the scouts. Vision. Trust the scouts 2025. We will be there. Osimhen. Market opportunity. See this phrases. Market opportunity. Osimhen. Prime example in January. Market opportunity. Don't let others get him. Go get him. Because Matheus Cunha is no longer becoming a market opportunity. Matheus Cunha is now becoming a premium because he's about to sign a new contract, which makes me a little bit scared. Ederson, I'm assuming you're talking about the Atalanta midfielder because no one cares about the Ederson Moraes. I like Ederson. Someone I would look at, depending on the price. Especially if Ugarte, I think they're very similar players. Ederson's probably a little bit better on the ball. Ugarte might actually be better defensively, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, not opposed to him. Would be a nice little player to have. The thing is like with the United, this is why the thing with the midfield under Amorim, it's gonna be a little bit difficult. This is where it gets techie. The midfield, the recruitment is gonna have to be very, very smart. Because you play in midfield too. The midfield too has to be able to link up and have good chemistry together and stuff like that. So that might get a little bit techie. That's why I always prefer midfield threes. I don't like playing midfield twos. I would much rather play in midfield threes. And that's why I talk about the tweak with Amorim is I want that left 10, or maybe it's Ahmad that is the one that drops, maybe drops a little bit deeper to be really comfortable playing in midfield. But is why I'd rather have maybe like a Cunha, because I think Cunha is a lot more physical than Ahmad. He's strong too. That kind of player. That's why I like Matheus Cunha for the left 10, right? And you can let Ahmad be the genius. And then go get that gunman and Osimhen. So yeah, we'll see. Obviously, United are gonna have to do a lot of scouting. A lot of good, like I said, go get the market opportunities and be smart with the signings. For example, left wing back. Nuno Mendes is theoretically a market opportunity because he's available for probably I think United could probably get him on a loan with obligation to buy. I think Nuno Mendes is a solid player. That injury record scares the living crap out of me. Do I trust Nuno Mendes to stay fit at a club where it looks like we're cursed? I really don't. I saw what happened with Mason Mount. I don't want to repeat. So that's maybe Milos Kirkes more of a market opportunity. I Nuri stuff like that. So yeah, one of my boys on Twitter like sent a good shot with Juventus. Yo, if Juventus want to talk, Cambiaso, let's talk. That's somewhere I'll be looking at. Omar Fernandez, a market opportunity because United created that market opportunity by just letting him go for no reason, but whatever. I saw him. He got linked with Bayern Munich, by the way. See Carrington. Look at the success, man. But Alvaro Fernandez. I like Alvaro, but I do think we could do better than Alvaro at the same time. For example, let's say Ainuri is about 15 mil more. I'd rather sign Ainuri, personally. But yeah, it's definitely a position that he'll definitely be looked at from United in the market sense because he'll be maybe a lot cheaper with the buyback and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't fully know about Alvaro, but we'll send me a text. Safi's mad at me because I crashed out on him on the group chat yesterday. But yeah, what's it called? Yeah, Alvaro is definitely someone that could be looked at as a market opportunity. Other positions, center backs for the summer. Don't gotta worry about that. Striker, left wing back in January. I think that has to be the priority. I can't believe that left 10 is becoming less of a priority than the striker, but that's how bad Rasmus Højlund has been. I'm not gonna lie. He's still not good, but I think United found their front three and Bruno, well, at least the 10s for right now. It's Bruno and Ahmad. The striker is going to be the concern. That's why I want Osimhen. And hopefully yesterday was a little bit we'll see from Garnacho maybe for the rest of the season. I still don't think he's good enough for Man United, but he was solid yesterday. Still not great, but it looks like he needs to lock in pretty much. He's not going anywhere in January, so he needs to lock in. Yesterday he looked locked in. Like I always said, I always tell him he doesn't listen. Obviously, he doesn't watch it, so he never listens to me. But just stay off the internet. Just put your head down, pretty much, and focus on the game. And he looked like he was doing that yesterday, so that's good. Because Garnacho, let's be real, I love Marcus Rashford, but he's obviously never getting back into this team. Which means the backup for the left 10 right now is Alejandro Garnacho. So I have no decisions over that and stuff like that. So I need him to lock in. And when he comes off the bench, to be a nuisance, to be a threat. Yesterday, he was game changing. He got the assist for Ahmad's goal. So, yeah, I think that's something he's gonna have to play a part in the season. Europa League, he's gonna have to play games. So, because Bruno showed what he can do with rest. So, yeah. Good. Hope his brother deleted his too. Probably delete Instagram next, but no, for real though. Just put your head down and just focus on the game, and just do more what you did yesterday. Never gonna expect Garnacho to be a superstar or even a star or even a great player. But just be average because the past 2 months he's been below average. He's been absolutely diabolical. Just be average, and just be there, be threatening, play the game the right way, pass, shoot, all that kind of stuff. Yesterday, we saw him go onto his left foot more instead of just cutting in and shooting aimlessly. That's good. Progress. So, yeah, man. Let's call him. I'm trying to think of anything else. Anything else to talk about, guys? I'm trying to think. We covered the 7-11. We covered pretty much transfers, what we should really be looking at in terms of priorities in January. Obviously, Xerxes is probably might leave. I know Juventus. I'm really fascinated by this Juventus with Xerxes because we have to play it smart here. We really have to play it smart. Juventus have a good team. Thiago Motta, I think, is actually underperforming. Go look for a player. And also, Juventus are absolutely stupid. Try to find a way to finesse them for a player or two. And I'm not talking about Vlahovic. Yeah, honestly, someone made this like theory. I would do this, in my opinion. Xerxes and money for Yildiz, the Turkish guy. 50 and Xerxes about 90 million. I'm down for that. Yildiz left 10. We're making movies. We're making movies. That's saucy. Yildiz Ahmad Osimhen. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Local might tell you. How's he been playing this shit? I'm not gonna lie. I've watched a little bit of Juventus, but I haven't watched too much of Juventus. Locatelli, man. Locatelli 2 years ago was a dream. I gotta see. Maybe maybe he needs a fresh start. But Italians, the Italians just scare me. Italians just scare me. But you know what? Tonali's been hooping for Newcastle recently. So you know there's still hope. There's still hope for Spaghetti Mafia, man. There's still hope. But nah. Lenny's. I mean, I talk a little about Lenny, but not to repeat myself. Lenny Euro is special. We saw it with our own very eyes in preseason. Then he got injured, and we had to wait. But now he's back. He's been eased in. But if I must make one request from Senor Amarim, enough with this Ligt right center back nonsense. Play Lenny Euro there. He's your best option out there, and just play Lenny Maguire Licha. Let's do it. It's time. I think it's time. I think it's time. Yeah, I know he's been easy. I don't mind it, TBJ. Yeah, it's fine. But I'm tired of the Ligt mistakes. I really am. I think the Licht's a good player, stuff like that. You want to say, yeah. But you know when someone's just an accident, I'm gonna use the Stephen A line. An accident waiting to happen. Matthijs de Ligt is always has an accident waiting to happen when it comes to his defending. We saw it yesterday. We saw it against Porto. We saw it in other games as well. But it's time for Lenny, man. It's time for Lenny. This is a special talent. I want to see more. Because I guess I've always said United have 3 building blocks. Ahmad, Lenny, Mainu. Those are your building blocks. And you know what? Fuck it. Ugarte might be joining them soon. But those are your 3 building blocks. Build. Shout out TJ. Greg hype. Yeah, low-key it is Greg hype sometimes, but give it up. Yeah, TJ's in mourning right now. Ethan Nwanyeri's out for a few weeks. Talented player. But yeah. Unfortunately, Mikel Jong-un struck again. And yeah. It's unfortunate. But you know, we'll see them on Sunday. You think we build on? You know what it is, JJ? Every time I think we build on something, it always just crumbles. So I don't know. I'm honest. I'm gonna say no. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. No, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you. With United, it's about fool me 1,000 at this point. So until I see it, I'm not gonna believe it. If United beat Arsenal on the weekend, I hear it. Yesterday, I know we won against City, right? We only drew yesterday, but yesterday's performance was better than the City one. Because United for the first 45 against City were absolutely diabolical. They were better as the second half and stuff like that. United were good for a large portion of yesterday's game. So, yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to say we will, but we should beat Southampton. In terms of Arsenal, Arsenal are at the weakest right now. I'm going to say that. I would like to get something against Arsenal. Like I said, they're at the weakest. No Saka. No one year. I also think Martinelli's injured. But what United's weaknesses are is also Arsenal's strength, and that's front 3. That's the attack. Arsenal's defense is still their strength. So, yeah. Thoughts on Inter AC Milan in an hour? Inter are gonna win. Well, yeah, shout out AC Milan though for pulling the trigger on Francesca and getting Coinchao. It's an interesting move. Also, speaking of AC Milan, they're also a possible suitor for Marcus Rashford. I would love for Marcus Rashford to go there. I think that would actually be a good move for him. Like I said, the coach, Coinchao, that's a nice little disciplinarian. Nice coach for maybe to help with Rashford. I don't know what the fit with Rashford is because you have Leao. I think they're very similar. And I don't think Rashford could play striker under Coinchao. Maybe you had a different coach. Maybe I could say Rashford, like Leao, Rashford interchange or something like that. But I've seen the strikers under Coinchao. Rashford doesn't really meet the physical demands, but yeah, I'd probably Inter. But now I would love to see Rashford at Milan. It's a nice little move for him, and also I also like that club, so we could definitely support him over there. But yeah, I wouldn't be mad at that. I don't know about the finances and stuff like that. Milan are pretty broke, but yeah, at the very least, if he gets a loan, he hoops over there, then we could do something. Yeah, man. Last time we sent a player out to Milan on loan, they came back 10 times better than Diogo Dallo. So never hurt no one. But yeah. Nah, I don't think Rashford goes in Jan. I think he stays. And I think eventually he will get integrated back into the team. Probably like February. Probably very limited minutes. But yeah, especially if Xerxes leaves and United aren't able to find a replacement for Xerxes, then Rashford, they're by default Rashford's getting integrated because we're not gonna go put Ethan Wheatley or Cheeto as backup striker. So yeah, honestly, when I look at Rashford, if he's gonna come back into the team, he needs to play striker. So yeah, what's up, Simon? Oh, Inter Milan. I'm not gonna lie, Inter one of the best teams in the world. So Serie A's fire this year though. Napoli hooping. McTominay scored past De Gea. That means something to me. Absolute fraud. But yeah. Trying to think. Anything else? I don't think so. What's up, Bandy? What's up? Y'all 20 a little bit late though. It's all right though, but yeah, we are wrapping up soon. But we'll be back Wednesday, Thursday. I'll have off from work, so probably do something there. Man, it was nice little game yesterday. Good result. We're not happy. We're not crashing out today, as opposed to the last 3-4 videos, because I've been very pissed at United lately. That's all good, bro. It's all good. All love. But it was good from United yesterday. But at the end of the day, Mike Doss is still butthurt about yesterday, and he's still very, very butthurt about Trent Alexander-Arnold, as is all of Liverpool. But yeah. Yeah, good. You got a little fire under their ass. Haven't had much. Yeah, you're good, bro. Nottingham Forest League title will be there. I will be there. But no, it was good win for United yesterday. It's good to be happy for once, not mad. Because United there's nothing to be really smiling about when it comes to United. And I still have my concerns. And it's like, well, because I've been arguing with Staffy. I don't know if he mentioned yesterday on his channel when he was in the live stream, but we're really having a differences of opinion right now in terms of faith in the club. My issue is never with Amorim. I believe in Amorim. I think he's a great coach. My issue is with previous United managers as well, is the people above. I don't have faith in the people above right now. I don't have faith in Ineos. They fumbled it so big. They fumbled it big time this summer. And until they prove to me with maybe this summer, or maybe in the winter, until they prove to me that they're not frauds, I will believe that they're frauds. I think he's a great coach. I don't know how much papering over the cracks he could do, but he's a great coach, and we'll see. Bro, that's the history of United versus Liverpool. I'm not going to lie, bro. That's literally the history of this. No, the only time that Liverpool beat the living shit out of us is when we think we got something for them. Other than that, we always get fucking battered, bro. I'm gonna be real. We always get battered. Every single time we think we got something, we get battered. Every single time we think they're gonna batter us, we got something for them. So yeah, that's how it goes between Liverpool and United. Dumfries and Ryan. Well, apparently the only club that can everyone can enjoy Dutch except me. Apparently, we need to ban relationship with the Netherlands. We need to have an embargo against the Netherlands when it comes to Manchester United. Just no Dutch exports allowed imported into Manchester. Just not allowed. We gotta end it. It ended with Van der Sar. Actually, no, my bad. And Van Persie. The price that we paid for Van Persie to carry us to league title number 20 is that we no longer can recruit good Dutch players or anything good Dutch. It's over. We should have clocked it after the pie. But we thought that was a one-off. End ties. Cut ties with the Netherlands. It doesn't work. Cut ties with the Netherlands. Cut ties with the Eredivisie. I don't care that Alessandro Martinez scored yesterday. Just cut ties with everything that has to do with the Netherlands. Just finito. Finito, papa. Just cut ties. Because Gravenberch, hooping at Liverpool. I promise you, if he came United, he would look like shit. So, it's clever. But yeah. Anyone live to redirect to? Let's see. No, I'm not going to Amsterdam. I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna follow what I preach. So I will also go on an embargo against Netherlands. You know what? Why not redirect to the fraud himself? William. Let's redirect to the fraud, William. Reinders. He low-key is, but I wouldn't be surprised if we made him flop. No, I got a YouTube studio. Customization. That's not hype. I'd rather redirect to Will. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. 109. Shit. We did an hour. We went a little longer than I expected. Big up, people. See? I told you. We gotta cut affiliate. Bro, and people wanted Frankie de Jong. So just cut ties. But yeah. Appreciate you all for joining. We're probably at what, 10 likes maximum. But yeah. We'll be back later this week. But yeah, shout out United for once in a blue moon. And yeah, we're gonna send you over to Football Carnage, aka William, for his Real Madrid watch along. What should you guys type? Oh, I got it. James hype, because you know what? His idol James Rodriguez once again got his contract released from Rayo Vallecano this time. So yeah, hit him with the James hype. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later this week. Enjoy. Peace and love.